Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about John Wick Chapter 4, and this movie came out in 2023 and stars Keanu Reeves. So once again, as per usual with these John Wick movies, this movie has, for the most part, an entirely new cast of characters, because characters keep dying in this series, and, well, I guess minor spoilers for the most part. Like, not every character dies in a John Wick movie, but I thought this movie was great, and this is probably the best John Wick movie since the first film. What I really enjoyed in this movie were the action sequences. I found them to be very engaging and a lot of fun and very memorable, and the action scenes alone make this movie really fun and awesome, and they're definitely the highlights for sure. And they're violent, they're bloody, and there's some CG blood that you can tell is being used at points, but for the most part, I feel as though it's pretty good, and I'm always into it. And this movie's almost 3 hours long, and I was never bored while watching it. And the story here, it goes in many different directions, and it never once loses me, and I'm always with it, and there's lots of things going on, just so you can have an excuse for action sequences, and I wasn't upset with it at all. And the film always felt like it was building to action sequences, and that's also something that I really enjoyed. And the third act in particular was awesome. The last hour of this movie was basically all action, and it was awesome. And like the previous John Wick movies, I like the John Wick theme, and I like how it was used. It felt appropriate, and the character motivations were clear in this movie, and I liked all the new characters that were brought in for this movie, and I felt as though they added a lot to it. And I really like Kane in the movie, played by Donnie Yen. He's probably my favorite character out of everyone that's new in the film, or at least to the series, and every action scene was just really entertaining with him. And although I've talked a lot about the action sequences and how this movie always kept me engaged, and my only issue would be with some CG blood that looked not the very best, but really there isn't a whole lot else to talk about with this movie, especially if you're trying to avoid spoilers. But there isn't a whole lot to spoil about the movie, because story-wise it's not really what you're watching the movie for. It's the action sequences and how we get there, and does it feel justified, and is it well done? And it is. There's no point where it's cutting too often. There's no point where it's shaky cam. You can see everything very clearly, and I guess the villain of the movie didn't really do a whole lot for me, and it's just what you'd expect. It's basically just another John Wick movie villain, kind of cartoonish, and yeah, that's how I felt about him. And overall, I just really enjoyed the tone of the film, and the action, and all that stuff that I mentioned already, and that's really what carries this movie for me. And if you like all that stuff, and you like the previous John Wick movies, then definitely check this one out, especially because this is probably the best one since the first one, or maybe it might be your favorite, I don't know, but it was a really great experience for me, and it is a film that I am excited to revisit, despite the length. I do feel as though it's one of those movies where the length doesn't even bug me at all, and if I were to watch it multiple times, I don't think it's going to bug me anymore upon revisiting the film, if that makes sense. So check this movie out if you haven't already, and with all that being said, I'm going to give John Wick Chapter 4 an 8 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of John Wick Chapter 4. And my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Field of Dreams. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching, and have a great day.